Hi Aquarius, happy birthday. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your February 2023 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's held cross spread as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements, wisdom, the oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off on rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 4, and 4th house energy for you guys is actually Taurus, and we've had Uranus in the North Node there for quite some time. We have Sagittarius, and Sagittarius energy for you guys is actually your 11th house, which points to friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. Astrologically speaking, not really anything going on there now. And we have Mercury. So Mercury actually is just wrapping up the Mercury retrograde cycle in Capricorn, and it's eventually going to move into your sign for February. So, of course, that could point to communication, but given that it was in 12th house relates to spirituality, higher learning, blind spots, and mental health. And it's going to be moving into your sign, which, of course, relates to your personality, your self-awareness, etc. All right, so keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Lovers, and challenging that, we have the 5 of Cups. So, to see these two things come up together, I feel like this is saying that for a lot of you, there might be something new on the horizon that could be brought your way. Maybe something that was being worked out behind the scenes, but you might actually not necessarily be seeing that because you're still dwelling on the previous disappointment from your past. Now, given that Scorpio energy points to your 10th house, so a generic way it could be playing out, maybe you had some kind of work project that you thought was going to be a really big success, but maybe it didn't work out quite the way you hoped, right? And this could just be saying there could be this really good creative idea coming your way around how to reapproach it, but you're just so focused on the failure at this moment that you're not really seeing that. For some of you, this could even point to possibly a romantic connection coming your way, right? But you're still focused on some disappointment from your past that you're not necessarily seeing that either. Given that for you guys, Gemini energy is 5th house. So the first thing that came to mind was creativity around your workplace, but 5th house could also point to romance as well. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is actually Capricorn energy here, and that is where we just had the Mercury retrograde, as I was saying. So, and for you guys, that's 12th house energy too. So, it could just be a reluctance to let go of something from your past, right? Maybe you've held on to it for a long time. You were sure that it was going to be your key to success, and maybe it hasn't quite worked out to the level that you hope. Right now, Queen of Pentacles is actually really good, so it is pretty solid. So it's understandable that you don't want to scrap the whole thing, right? And I think with the Lover's energy, it might not necessarily be telling you to scrap the whole thing, but it could just be the thing that gets you to that next level. But yeah, it looks like you're definitely holding on to things at this time. All right, in the past position, we have Death. So yeah, definitely another indicator that there could have been an ending in the past for you guys, possibly even during Scorpio season. And given that Scorpio is a fixed sign like you guys, as we move into your season, when those planets hit, could be bringing those energies back up from the past for you to look at again. But yeah, it looks like there was definitely an ending that you guys went through in the past. All right, in the present position, we have the 2 of Cups. So between this and Lovers, this could definitely point to some of you, at least, for a romantic connection. But at the same time, when I think of the fact that this is 6th house energy for you guys and the Scorpio is 10th house, this could just be one of those things where maybe you have a meeting of the minds within your workplace, right? Or around some kind of a work project. Possibly for some of you, maybe even a new job altogether, right? But that's kind of what I'm seeing there. It looks like there's a meeting of the minds, whether it's romantic, related to career, or otherwise. All right, in the near future position, we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, this looks like you're going to be reinvigorated. So this could be as simple as maybe a conversation that you have with someone, right? So maybe Spirit was trying to get your attention in other ways, but they might have realized, okay, your mind is so wrapped up on something, so maybe they bring someone physically into your environment, right, where you could have a discussion with them, and that might spark some creativity in you from that point, right? So that might relight the fire for you. Now, for some of you, this could just be as simple as pointing to the astrological cycle, too. Because if we think about the Lovers, we see the sun right at the top of the sky there, right? And this could be pointing to the fact that the sun's moving back into your sign. So it could just be one of those things. As you had all that energy moving through your 12th house, it might have had you in a low energy cycle. And now you're getting that spark back this month. All right, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Queen of Swords. So yeah, to me, this says that you're really ultimately being very discerning, right? You're looking for the best way forward for all parties involved in whatever the situation is. So that could be part of why there's a reluctance to let go of something on your part too, right? Because you're like, okay, rather than just looking at what's best for me, right? You could really just be trying to look out for what's best for all. So another way this could be playing out again, just another generic example. Let's say you're at a job that maybe they're going through a bit of a rough cycle, right? So you want to ride it out with them because you have some loyalty to your workplace, but then maybe you get this other job offer that's better and they're in a better position right now, and you almost feel like a sense of guilt, like, okay, yeah, I could totally jump ship to this new situation, but I feel bad about the people I left behind in the previous spot, right? So just a generic way that could be playing out. But yeah, it looks like you're definitely looking for balance and you're being very measured in your decision making this month. All right. In the environment position, we have the Eight of Wands. So Sagittarius energy here. So yeah, definitely looks like a lot of things are going to be coming your way. So whether it's dialogue or just a lot of information coming one way to you, right? Looks like you're definitely going to have a lot of activity in your environment this month for sure. And this could be related to your friendships, given that, like we said, for you guys, Sagittarius energy is your 11th house of friendships, and we saw that come up in your dice as well. But could also be opportunities for travel, you name it. All right, in the Hope Sword for Yours position, we have the Nine of Swords. So yeah, Gemini energy here. Could just be saying that you might just be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, right? So again, maybe you are picking up on those ideas that are trying to come through to you, but you just might not feel like you're ready to process it just yet, right? So that could be a bit of a situation where you're like, okay, I just really need that energy to settle, to let me clear my mind, then move forward. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Page of Pentacles. So to me, this says that even if there is a setback, right, given that we see the Queen of Pentacles in the foundation, it's not going to be a huge setback. And I feel like this is saying that as we get toward the end of the month, you feel like you're getting right back on the path again. We do see that Pentacle is just out of his reach, right? So you might feel like someone's just out of your reach, but at least you feel like you're on the right path again and ready to move forward, right? Okay, and bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. So this could even potentially point to what the issue might have been in the past, right? Like I said, if there was some kind of a failure, maybe you went through and presented some idea in your job and you thought that it was going to be this big thing and you're going to be like, oh, that's a perfect idea, but it fell flat a little bit, right? Could have been as simple as the Mercury retrograde. Maybe it was because of Mercury retrograde, the way you thought you communicated the idea didn't come across that clearly, right? So it could just be saying that maybe there was a bit of a rushed offer in the past being made, but now you're actually going to work through that and be able to come forward with something more concrete next time around. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have Don't Make Assumptions, and it says let your life be transformed. Okay, when it says when you stop making assumptions, your word becomes impeccable and your life is completely transformed. Magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because spirit moves freely through you. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there. And yeah, like I said, the more we talk through the spread, it could just be as simple as the astrological cycles or playing a little havoc on you guys, because 12th house energy can be a little heavy sometimes. And now, as those energies move into your first house, you might just feel that spark come back. All right, moving on to your Wisdom of the Oracle card, we have By the Book. There's the artwork, and the number is 11. Okay, central meanings says abiding by social rules, conformity, respecting cultural or family customs, universal laws. The Oracle's message: the universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provides a framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is a time to learn these laws and conform to them, rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit the structure and follow the rules, even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to universal laws, and it will be easier to go by the book at this time. So yeah, interesting message there, right? Might be a bit of a hard sell for Aquarius to go by the book, especially during their season, but hopefully that resonates with you guys. All right, and the relationship message says getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find a middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Your connection will deepen as a result. So yeah, definitely a pretty interesting message there, especially because in a way, if this is a relationship with another person, you might find that they're actually not necessarily rebellious, but they might be a bit more outgoing, where you might be a bit more withdrawn and more discerning this month. So might be an interesting dynamic for you there. The prosperity message says at this time you can expect a return on your investment. Whatever you have pursued, be it a dream you've long cherished, a skill you've cultivated, or a service you're called to, will come to you if you are willing to go by the book. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to be successful. Follow in the footsteps of others who have already achieved the thing you're striving for. You can learn a lot by observing the structures that are already working. Your creative projects and commitment to prosperity are in alignment with the needs of the world, but impatience may tempt you to cut corners to get there more quickly. Stick with what you know works, and you will attract abundance. So, interesting message there where it talked about impatience may tempt you to cut corners to get there more quickly. That actually brings me back to what I was picking up on with the Page of Cups, right? What I said, maybe there was a bit of a rushed offer, and maybe, like I said, it could have been as simple as the retrograde, because maybe you weren't communicating as clearly as you thought at the time. But seeing the Page of Pentacles, which is more concrete, more steady, right, could just be saying that, okay, you might pick up the pieces there and be able to represent it, right? Maybe that, like I said, the Lovers is some creative idea you might get on how you can repurpose this thing and represent it, and then it might actually get approval at that point. So hopefully that resonates. All right, and lastly, we have Mudra for you guys. This is your Mudra here. It's the Matsya Mudra, and the keyword for it is integration. All right, get it to focus. There we go. So if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read the messages, you can. But under benefits, it says activates the body's self-healing potential, increases suppleness, improves concentration, generates feelings of devotion and compassion. So if that sounds like a mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the name in the description below as always. Once again, happy birthday, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.